Good morning, wildlife watchers and animal lovers. Welcome back for another adventure vlog.
This time in New York City.
New York City. Let me flip the camera around so you can see our view. Wow, you're probably like, Jeff, what are you doing in New York City? That is not a rainforest. That is not a jungle. Well, it is a jungle. It's a concrete one. And I am going to still make a vlog out of today because we're going to the American Museum of Natural History. And I'm taking you along with us. I have never been there. Holly, have you ever been there?
Never, no.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even introduce you. Well, you've been in a lot of my vlogs by now, so people probably know who you are.
Maybe.
But if you don't know who that is, that's Holly. She's my adventure buddy. She's a sloth lover.
Hello.
We went on a trip to Costa Rica together. We experienced Maine. We are both from Montana, so we do a ton of hikes there. So you've seen her in a lot of vlogs. But she lives in New York City. We're in your little pad here. The first time visiting you.
Apartment. So fun. Yay!
Let's go! The reason I've been very keen to go to the Natural History Museum is because, well, I love nature, of course, but also because I've been reading this book. It's called The Naturalist, and it's about Theodore Roosevelt. You know, that one president we had? And he is the president we most commonly associate with national parks, conservation, those sorts of things. And I've been reading this book, and the museum comes up a lot because a lot of his specimens are in there. We're gonna go see them today. He collected a lot of specimens, and that's a really nice way of saying he hunted and killed a lot of these animals and dragged them back to New York City for people to see. He is a product of his time, okay, and overall he did big things in conservation, but he definitely hunted a lot of animals, and that's where the museum gets lots of its taxidermy exhibits. Yeah. Anyway, let's go check them out. It's time to leave the apartment. We're gonna enter the big bad city. You're such a city girl. I'm kind of scared. I'm a small town boy. We are walking to Central Park with our sweet green bowls. Stay tuned to see what's inside. Sweet green reveal. Okay, it looked a lot better before we opened the... Okay, reveal. These eco bowls. Ta-da! Okay, they don't look as presentational as when we first got them, but they're delicious and healthy. So we are on our way to the Natural History Museum, but we're taking it slow. We're gonna walk through Central Park, just meander.
Take a nap.
We don't actually have our timed reservation ticket yet. We're gonna hold off on that a little bit because we just want to enjoy the day. It's beautiful out. So this is like your local park.
Yay! Just a casual little local, little small little park.
I love having my little local.
Calm and not busy ever.
Holly, I think everyone else had the same idea of going to the park on Sunday. And it's Mother's Day, so I'm seeing lots of moms. Happy Mother's Day.
Season.
It's Mother's Day every day, and I know by the time I'm actually gonna post this video, it's way after the fact, but if you're a mom, you rock. What would New York City be without Central Park?
So awful.
My tour guide is down.
I needed this.
Holly party-hardied a little bit this weekend because it was her birthday and she got a new job, so there's just so much to celebrate. I got here quite late last night. I got here close to midnight, so this is my first actual day in New York City. So I'm like perky, ready to go, but I understand that not all of us feel the same way.
That echo is
Are you alive? I feel a heartbeat.
I feel a heartbeat in my head.
So we just got our tickets for the museum. It's actually free entry for residents of New York City, and I'm with a local. So we got free entry. It's kind of pay as you wish, donation based. We gave them $5, contributed $5 to the museum, which is probably enough to feed a butterfly for a year. But anyway, we're gonna do more than just donate financially. We're gonna create content that promotes the museum's mission, okay? It's worth a lot more than a dollar amount. So we're still about an hour out from our actual admission time. So we're just gonna continue enjoying Central Park and enjoy the sun. It's a beautiful spring day. Are you having a fun time so far? All right, everyone, we've made progress. We're now in front of the museum with ice cream.
Needed some sugar in my system.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited. Do you see that building? That, you guys, would be the American Museum of Natural History, which is what this vlog is gonna be all about.
Yeah, which no one in New York ever does. No one hears about. So I'm intrigued because we're not in DC anymore. So
Yeah, thanks for letting me drag you along. You're a really good friend to go with me to all these places and let me be a nerd. You're the best.
It's cute. It's cute. I love that you love learning.
But you know, this museum is going to be a lot cooler than you think, Holly. Let me tell you all about it. Let's do it. Here we are. While you finish up your ice cream, I'll tell you a little bit about why this museum is important.
Please do.
So this museum was founded in about 1866, I believe. Where are you going?
Sorry, I look so ugly.
I'm just getting into the story. She wants to put the sunglasses on. And natural history at the time was becoming really popular. Like, it was a new thing. No one knew anything about animals, and people were starting to become curious. And the main places in the world with huge, sorry, New York City sounds happening, huge collections of natural history artifacts would be in Europe, especially London. So like, the US was getting a little bit jealous, a little bit competitive, and they're like, we need to up our natural history game. Let's make a museum with a full collection of international specimens and compete with these other places. So that's how, kind of like the story about how it got founded, and then how it grew, that's a whole nother story we'll get into shortly. We've entered.
Yes, okay.
So obviously this is a big place, and there's 4 levels. I think we're gonna end on the 4th floor because I want it to be the least crowded when we go there. And we just got here and it's very busy, so I'm thinking we work our way up. Does that sound good? Holly, I'm thinking about that movie Night in the Museum, which took place in here.
I really like this museum because it's really understimulating. Like, it's really dark, except for the exhibits.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it efficient so far?
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I got you covered. Now I'm in here with a plan. I'm getting some content for some of the things I want to make later this year. So I'm trying to get like footage of just animals up close because they make for great visual shots when I talk about them. It is a little bit more fun to see them alive in the wild back in Montana, I will say.
The ocean basins begin to fill with water.
All right, so this just might look like a glass ball, right? Nothing much else. But if you look closely, there's some little shrimp, and there's some algae and bacteria on that rock formation in the center. And this glass ball, Holly, has not been opened up since 1999. So the idea behind this is that there's a little ecosystem going on in here, and it's self-sustaining, self-sufficient. Everything gets recycled inside without any external inputs. Not pretty cool? So this is a way for us to explore the idea that we are in one of these ecospheres right now. It's called Earth. It's a little bit bigger than this one. Show your enthusiasm. We are now in the new wing that just opened up. It has a whole different look and feel to it. This is like an interesting kind of drywall effect. It definitely looks very natural, earthy.
A cave.
Yeah.
It's well lit.
I was reading on the website this was inspired by one of the original founders of the museum, or he had something to do with it as far as the style goes. But yeah, we feel lucky we're part of the first few people to ever walk in here. We are in the Dinosaur Hall. Is that a living dinosaur?
She's 24. So yeah.
This is one of the most complete mastodon skeletons ever found in North America. Pretty cool. Because as I was telling Holly, the bitter truth about coming into a museum like this is that the fossils are rarely original. There's a lot of replicas, lots of molds, but once in a while you'll see one that's like mostly original, like the one we're seeing right now, which makes it really cool, but you really have to like be aware of that. Because like when you're digging up for fossils, it's rare you'll find like every single piece.
Crazy. Sad. Guys, look at this sign and just how poorly organized it is. Starting with like North America near present-day Wyoming. This, I assume, is Wyoming.
Yeah, is that Wyoming?
And then down here, like, also wait, Tapir's World Travelers, that just looks like a meme.
That's like World Travelers is kind of meaningless there.
Yeah, and then down here, we have like 2 different fonts, like this and this. So
They got an A for effort. We found
Why am I always in your sloth vlogs? Like,
Sloth Lover. If you don't know what we're talking about, we went on a trip to Costa Rica recently.
watch the vlogs here.
Yeah, we have it linked here.
Yeah.
We have a ton of vlogs from Costa Rica where we saw tons of sloths.
And I'm obsessed with sloths. And this is a big
Giant sloth.
fossil, giant sloth.
Yeah, technically known as the Lestodon armatus. And she's massive, and I'm kind of wishing they still existed. That'd be fun. They look really carnivorous, but they were vegetarians. Wow. Dinosaur sighting, because she's 24 now, old.
So we feel pretty cool and special here because a lot of these dinosaur bone fossil exhibits are reference Montana.
Yep.
Plants.
Montana is a paleontology treasure trove.
I actually got my last job on a dinosaur fossil hunt in eastern Montana.
I'm so jealous of
So
the dinosaur
random.
dig, not the job.
Right.
Little Miss, I've been on a dinosaur dig before. Just taught me something.
Yeah, I was just telling him that when we went on this dinosaur dig, we found some pieces of fossil bone, and we went with the paleontologist who told us that you can just like tell that it's not a rock because you lick it, and the bone is so porous that it sticks to your tongue a little bit. So that's how you know that it's a dinosaur bone.
So if I licked any of these, it would stick to my tongue.
Yeah, it's like a bit rougher than a rock.
I can just picture Holly out there in Montana just going, next.
Not a lot of minerals on that.
This skull behind me is a big deal, Holly. Come down here and learn. It's one of the most complete skulls of a T-Rex ever found. It was found in Montana, our home state. It was discovered by Barnum Brown, who's like a famous fossil hunter, museum collector, and he worked for the museum here. And he's the one who dug this up in Dry Creek, Montana. Is this not the coolest thing you've ever seen?
I like the notes on this side.
Well, I wonder why it's designed like this. No peace. Goodbye, museum.
It was a good time. I'm glad we went. I am tired. I'm museumed out a little.
A little museumed out. I think that was perfect though. We were in there for 2 hours. It's a lot bigger than I thought. I think I may have underestimated it a little bit, but we did it. We came, we saw.
Hungover.
The most pleasant day. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed coming along with us to the Natural History Museum. I sure had fun taking you along. Holly here has been getting progressively more sick throughout the day.
The exhaustion from the weekend.
Yeah.
It's hitting me.
So I'm just gonna pan you for another second, okay? But anyway, you guys, thanks for joining along. If you want to join me for more wildlife, nature, natural history adventures all around the world, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time. Where will we go next? Find out. Stay tuned for more.